Welcome to our channel. We are Technic Force and we help grow your business online. Please hit the subscribe button to get more updates. New GPT-Image-1. OpenAI just dropped something pretty cool and it's called GPT-Image-1 and it's now available through their API. If you've played around with image generation in ChatGPT recently, you'll know how fun and honestly impressive it is. Well, now developers can tap into that same tech and bring it into their own apps and tools. We're talking about super high quality image generation, editing features like in painting, and a whole lot more. Let's dive in. Alright, so again, OpenAI just released their brand new GPT-Image-1 model through their API. So just to go through the blog post a little bit, they introduced image generation in ChatGPT last month, and it quickly became one of the most popular features, as we all know. And over 130 million users around the globe created more than 700 million images in just the first week, which is crazy. Now, today they're bringing the same experience to their API with the model string of GPT Image 1. This is going to enable developers to easily integrate high quality, professional grade images directly into their own tools as well as platforms. Right now, you're going to be able to access this model from any developer tier from OpenAI. Now, the one thing to note with this is you're going to have to actually validate your identification through the OpenAI API. So, in terms of some companies that already have this available within their product, which include Adobe, Airtable, Figma, Gamma, Hagen, Opus Clip, Cora, Wix, Photoroom, and Playground. So, as you might expect for the image generation API, there are some guardrails in terms of the image generation. They do have some moderation parameters that you can pass into your request. So, you can set an auto mode where there will be standard filtering, or you can specifically set a low where there will be less restrictive filtering. So, I think a huge question that a lot of people had is the pricing. So, it's $5 per million tokens of input, $10 per million tokens of image input. You can pass in both images as well as text. It's going to be $40 per million tokens of output. And they say this roughly translates to 2, 7, or 19 cents per generated image for low, medium, and high quality square images, respectively. And once you've gone through and validated your ID, you can access this from the playground at platform.openai.com/playground/images. So the nice thing with the playground is there is a number of different really great examples in terms of how you can use this. So here's an example of a business card, a logo, as well as instructions in terms of how to add it on the business card. So within here, you can also select the different aspect ratio as well as the quality. Additionally, you can specify how many images you want to generate. And one thing to note with the playground is you still are going to be incurring API cost. So even though it's a playground, it isn't an area where you can just try all of this out for free. So here's an example of that. You can go through all of these different types of examples. Or alternatively, if you want to create those Ghibli images that had gone viral, you can go ahead and do that. But there are a number of different great examples within here where you can go and try all of this out. Now, in terms of setting it up, it's super straightforward. You can go ahead and use the OpenAI SDK. And to make a request, it's as simple as specifying the GPT image model as well as the prompt. So, additionally, what you can do is edit particular parts of an image by uploading an image and a mask indicating which area should be replaced, a process known as in painting. So they do have an example of that where here we have an image of a pool, specify within painting what we want to have within the pool, and then there's this example of the flamingo. That is a super cool feature that I think we're going to see in a ton of different applications. So like we don't have to do reprompting the same image again and again, but once we get an image that we like, we just want to refine from there, and we can go ahead and leverage something like in painting. There are some requirements for masking, like the mask does have the same format as well as the size, and the mask image must also contain an alpha channel. So, in terms of the available aspect ratios that you can specify, you can get square, portrait, as well as landscape. And then the quality options, like I mentioned earlier, are low, medium, as well as high. Now, the images that are generated are either JPEG or WebP images. And you can also specify the output compressions. If you want to specify the compression level to be higher, you can do that. And additionally, it does support transparency. If you want to make a transparent background from your generation, you'll be able to do that as well. In terms of some limitations for complex prompts, these can take up to 2 minutes to process. So it's not really that fast as like the other model. Now, the other thing to note is for text, it does do quite well with text, but although it's significantly improved, like they mentioned from Dolly series, the model can still struggle precisely with text placement as well as clarity. Another thing that the model can struggle with is consistency. We mentioned that the model can struggle to maintain visual consistency for recurring characters or brand elements across multiple generations. Now, in terms of cost as well as latency, obviously for the lower quality images, those aren't going to take as long. And for a square low quality image, that's going to be 272 tokens. Whereas for a more expensive generation, like on portrait mode with a high setting, that's going to be 6,240 tokens. So just keep that in mind in terms of that $40 million per million tokens of output. So that's going to be roughly the pricing that you're looking at. And otherwise, that's pretty much it for this video. And that's a wrap. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. See you next time. Introducing Compilify. Get total consent compliance within 60 seconds and grow your business without worries. Unlock the full global potential of your business and get better results on all ad platforms instantly. Compilify is the ultimate consent management platform. Compilify meets the requirements of all major consent and privacy laws globally. Supercharge your marketing reach with Compilify's powerful features. Get compliant, stay safe. Get better results from ads and analytics. Required for retargeting, DPO compliance, cookie compliance, GDPR compliance. Here's the good news. Complying with all of the privacy regulations is as easy as clicking a button to scout your site and putting the Compilify code on it. Less than 60 seconds and you're compliant. Automated cookie scanning and categorization. Cookie pop-up with easy consent management. Compilify offers unique identifier for user consent. Compilify keeps a record of users' consent selection with a unique identifier as required. Allows consent modifications. Visitors can view their consent setting and change at any time they want. Save 90% versus other consent management platforms. Fast and high-speed performance. Compilify does not slow your website. Google Consent Mode V2 and Microsoft Consent Mode support. Multilingual with automatic language detection. Consent pop-up with dozens of ready-made templates. Fully customizable consent pop-up designs. Data Protection Officer or DPO compliance ready. Target regions and countries with customized consent experiences. Detailed reporting and analytics. Compilify is powerful and easy to use. So what are you waiting for? Get Compilify now. Just go to getcompilify.in.